Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the CORE Xfinity Series presented by SimRaces.com. And technically, last time, I should be saying that for the season because it is officially changed over in iRacing now to the O'Reilly's Series. So no longer is the B car the Xfinity, it's now the O'Reilly's. Pains me to say it, but we will stay consistent here and run this season out as the CORE Xfinity Series. Not going to make a change halfway through the season, literally, because this is race number 5, and we're going to be halfway through the season after tonight. We'll see what these drivers have in stores. We are here at Kentucky Speedway tonight, and this is a nice wide 1.5 mile tri-oval. We'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight, who's going to get the win. Carlin, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, another one of these cookie cutter tracks here, but Kentucky is definitely a little different, especially that apron as you're kind of approaching turn number 1. We talk about it quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of aprons that are inviting for drivers to go down to. I guess that's about all I can really say on those. If a driver thinks they can get down there and gain benefit, and they get down there, it just causes a mess later on. But hopefully they work things out here tonight and keep things kosher. That can stir the pot. And they're coming off a pretty busy week last week, trying to overcome a lot of different cautions. So we're gonna see how they change that a little bit here tonight as well, coming to a different track.
I don't believe the drop races are taken into account just yet, but taking a look at the point standings coming in, it is Alan Elwood leading the way with 267 points as he's 41 points clear of Jack Stoneman, 51 points clear of Tommy Ryan, and it makes sense. He's won 2 out of the 4 races so far, with Jack Stoneman and Kelly Pointer being the other winners. Stoneman Skozen winning last week. Then in the gold division, it is Jake Lesh by 75 points over Joey Cruz, 77 over David Tilford. In the silver, Matt Crockett leads now by 6 points over Ricky Renner, Colin Flickiger in 3rd place. In the bronze division, it is Jeremy Gainey by 9 points over Luis Orduna and 15 over Joe Thomas. We are ready for some racing action here tonight, and it looks like we got a 36-car field, so a nice size field here tonight. Jimmy, why don't you give us that starting order?
Yeah, starting order here tonight. Alan Elwood getting another pole here tonight in that number 5 with Jack Stoneman on the outside again. JP Phillips and Tommy Ryan for row number 2. Number 3, Tyler Skozen with Josh Van Westen. Danny Ware and Jeff Ryan make up row number 4, and row number 5 is going to be Sean Hook with James Hislop. Colin's going to be in row number 6 with Courtney Nelson. Chad Coleman and Joe Sullivan make up row number 7. Kelly Pointer and Zane Buren making up row number 8. 9 is Dayton Drummonds and John Williams Sr. Nathan Nickerson and Dave Tilford make up row number 10 with Dan Phelps, Jeremy Gainey, and row number 11. Row number 12, Matt Crockett, Ricky Renner, Stephen Harris, Gary Wright back there in row number 13. Row number 14 is going to be Terry Jensen and Chris Hayes. Jonathan Schwartz with Joey Cruz back in row number 15. Row number 16, Robert Matthews and Matthew Simmons. I guess a place to play where you need to be, Matt. And then Randy Yoakum and Michael Schwartz back there in row number 17. Row number 18, Luis Orduna with Troy Snyder. So 36 cars here on the field for a great race. Let's have a great night, drivers. Get ready to start them engines.
Yeah, we got 80 laps on tap here tonight. As you see the track layout there, just actually shy of 1.5 miles, 1.46 miles, but track temperature and the temperature outside not too bad, so it shouldn't give these drivers any kind of issues. 14-mile-an-hour winds, a little breezy out there, and they do play a part more than you may realize, and more than you're maybe even thinking about when you're in the car here. But if the breeze is heading a certain direction, if it's blowing left to right as you're entering turn 1 and then right to left going into turns 3 and 4, it can certainly feel a lot different on the different ends of the complex here. But we're gonna get this thing underway here. The pace car is now starting to pull the drivers off of the track. Couple new faces out there tonight. We got Sean Hook, and he actually is the top qualifying rookie up there in 9th place, and another one, Chris Hayes, seen back there in 28th position. But we did have a few drivers that had to survey their penalties and start from the back of the field here tonight, and that's why you didn't see them qualifying, as we had Joey Cruz, Matt Simmons, and John Schwartz were the we're the bad boys and have to start from the back of the field, or at least couldn't qualify, not necessarily all the way at the back of the field.
When Carl comes for you.
Yeah, all the admins, not just me.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was in that list.
Don't single me out. Come on now.
It just sounded good at the moment.
Well, kind of back to status quo here for the top spot. Alan Elwood has now got 3 poles out of 4 races, so he's clearly got the speed, and we know he's got the speed and the race as well. But we'll see if he can get the win here tonight. He's only running 50% when it comes to the wins here, so maybe somebody can best him here tonight. But it's time to go racing here at Kentucky Speedway. Barney ready to drop that green flag, and we are racing for 80 laps.
And the drivers get going here so I can catch up. Dang, iRacing is not where it needs to be.
Well, not wasting any time. Already 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Tyler Skosen up to 2nd place, still 3 wide, as back there you got Jack Stoneman, you got Danny Ware and JP Phillips 3 wide. Now you got Tommy Ryan peeking on the outside as well. I've seen Chris Hayes jump to the pits. Again, a new driver here. I didn't see exactly what happened to him here. Not sure if he had connection issues or what the case is, but Alan Elwood leads the way, but it is already a battlefield. It looks like maybe finally settling down to 2 wide action, but plenty of early battles up there, and looks like we got trying to see who was up there inside. That is Sean Hook in the number 9 car. Should be the 43, but just getting in here late, so maybe didn't have a time to get himself a new paint scheme for the series.
43.
Yeah, I'm showing him as the 9.
I got him as a 43 Napa car.
Yep, that's definitely not what I have. I'm as the 9. I'm not sure what this looks like. A Mountain Dew Baja Midnight for the paint scheme. So could be just that I got in here early, and maybe he got in here with an older paint scheme and then changed it before Jimmy got in here. But it wouldn't be the first time that that trading paints and iRacing and everything is all jacked up. But either way, good start here for the field. Alan Elwood now trying to check out here. Danny Ware in 2nd already. Started in 7th, but already got that 35 up into 2nd place. So good start here for the 55. The 35 of Danny Ware. 55 there in 3rd place with Tyler Skosen. Jack Stoneman dropped a couple spots on the start, as did JP Phillips. They're your top 5. Sean Hook, Josh Van Westen, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan, and Chad Coleman for your top 10.
Back here looking at back in the top in the mid-20s here. A lot of 3 wide action going on as they battle it out. It's quite a beast nest out there at the moment, kind of all over the place, as these cars can kind of go all over the place. The high side, low side seems to be all over the place. Nothing too dominant at the moment as the tires come up to temperature. But yeah, Carl Alan Elwood out here out front and out in that clean air, nobody to kind of pester him. Got a nice
big save right there. As I'm not sure what that was on the inside, but got into the side of Matt Crockett, and he had to chase up the track, and I'm sure those tires are going to be a little angry right now. Might have been, I'm not sure if it was John Williams, but somebody got on the side of him. Either way, that was certainly close to our first caution. But a great save there from the 10 of Matt Crockett. But this is where it gets a little bit scary, a little bit troublesome when you got drivers like Jonathan Schwartz, who looks to be trending towards a podium division for how good he's been running here in the series, but a little bit rougher on the edges the last couple of races, earned him some penalty points and makes him start from the rear. But you got to be clean through going through the field, because if you don't have a clean race, you're going to keep gaining more and more penalty points, and those starting from the rear is going to eventually turn into suspensions and missing a race. So these drivers like Jonathan Schwartz and Joey Cruz certainly looks like a little banged in on the rear bumper there already. I'm sure the rear bumper probably isn't his fault. If the front bumper was pushed in, I'd worry about him starting the next race. But Cruz obviously starting from the back there in 30th. He's up 8 spots already. Jonathan Schwartz is up 10. They're your biggest movers of the race. But Alan Elwood is in the lead right now, but it seems like everything's kind of settled down at the front, Jimmy. The front, maybe 8, 10, all kind of, well, really all the way through the field for the most part for the first maybe 15, 18 spots, single file, and maybe just kind of settling into a groove.
Yeah, I think a lot of these drivers are kind of out here single file at the moment, and well, except towards the back, obviously some of the faster drivers working their way up through. Schwartz getting around Tilford, and up there and coming up near James Hislop there, and then are just getting by Courtney Nelson, coming up on James Hislop now. So obviously has some speed, and yeah, you're right, Carl. I mean, it's tough for some of the drivers. Sometimes they get out here, and obviously they're trying, and they're trying to find their way. Ooh, a little bit of net code. That was bad.
The 29 still trying to save it, and that's going to end up being our first caution here as Courtney Nelson goes around, tried to save it. Kind of same situation that Matt Crockett was in, but unfortunately not able to save it. He tried to save it off of the 199 and then off of the 12, but bring out our first caution. We'll take a look at that here one more time. And you see right there, kind of getting together a little bit, heading into turn number 1. And the 29 trying his best to straighten it out. It looked like he kind of did right there, but then just a little too close to the 199. They kind of catch each other again, and then the 12, nowhere to go. I think maybe he tried to save him there a little bit, but it's that bump right there that ended up shooting him up to the outside wall, and some pretty heavy impact to the front end of that 29. But luckily, you see everybody dodging and diving all around the 29 there, so nobody else getting involved. A great job, great avoidance by everyone out there. As we'll get you back live, and we'll take a look. And I would think, Jimmy, I mean, we're only 10 laps in. Maybe not tires necessarily just yet, but fuel. I mean, we certainly seen these races turn into some fuel mileage at times. I think it's tempting, certainly, to come in here this early.
I mean, it's always tempting, Carl, to utilize come in and at least get fuel. I mean, the tires are kind of nice, but it's kind of way too early with with the small amount of tires they have here, and to kind of have these drivers go out there and burn it up this early is kind of a waste. I don't think you'll see too many drivers. Obviously.
Well, I don't know if you're looking at Christy K, Jimmy, but that's plenty of drivers.
Everybody come in. No, they're coming in, but they're probably taking fuel.
Yeah, no tires for sure.
Situation, yep. Yeah, tires are not what they want to be burning here. They've already, a few drivers have been burnt from not having that extra set late in the race and being caught, being passed. Obviously, Alan Nell had fallen victim to that early on in the season, but one of the drivers that actually decided to stay out. A lot of platinum drivers up at the front, so they know they need that track position. They don't want to have to come up to the field and battle. And here's where a lot of places, you're gonna get those people to kind of start closing in, but if you're not too far off, you got everybody coming in front of you, you might as well even the playing field, come in, and now you got this pit strategy thing that might get thrown out the window for all those drivers. Maybe they they don't have to save as much when it comes down to it. And if something happens, you go a lap down here.
You're see a few cars down there on the bottom. See Tyler Skosen down there. Maybe try to do a little bit of saving here under the caution laps. I mean, you never know if and where that extra little bit can really benefit you in the race. Of course, these drivers are going to have to make a pit stop, if not probably 2 or maybe 3 pit stops before this thing is over, based on the fuel mileage. But I mean, it could save you an extra lap here or there, and then the next one, if you save a lap or 2, you'd be surprised what the dividends could pay out at the end. But we're going to get this thing back underway. It's going to be Alan Elwood leading the way. Danny Ware on the outside now. Tyler Skosen, Jack Stoneman in row number 2. So teammates on the front row, teammates in the second row. And then you got Sean Hook, newcomer here, starting on the inside of row number 3 and 5th. Josh Van Westen in 6th. Then you got Jeremy Gainey and there's my spotters are bouncing around here. Jeremy Gainey and James Hislop. Matt Simmons and JP Phillips for your top 10, as Simmons another one that had to start from the back, but utilize the chance to get a lot of track position here by staying out, not coming in the pits. He was the last car in line that did not come into the pits, so he moves himself now all the way up into 9th. What can he do to hold off the rest of the field there behind him? Looks like only a few cars taking tires, but pretty interesting to see who took tires there, Jimmy. I won't reveal any kind of names. I won't play any kind of spoiler, but pretty interesting to see who
That's a whoops.
who took some tires there. So either way,
I think it's a whoop.
we're gonna get this thing back underway. Alan Elwood's gonna be your control car as they head back to the Geico restart zone here at Kentucky, and really a beautiful facility here in Kentucky as Alan Elwood to kick it off here once again, back to racing here at Kentucky.
Head down around the go through turns 1 and 2, making our way towards the back stretch here, but out there in that clean air, not to worry, like I said, doesn't have to battle anybody early on and trying to secure that spot up front. We have the UNH boys battling out there for third. Jeremy Gee going high.
Almost got put 3 wide off the corner. Now may get put 3 wide in the front stretch, but no, it looks like Tommy Ryan doing a little lawn mowing on the front stretch. Not sure what happened to him in turns 3 and 4, but he's going to fall all the way to the back of the field here. I don't think that's by design. It's certainly not a it's not a super speedway where you want to go to the back here. We'll try and see what happened here.
Who lost the rear?
As they get 3 wide on the inside there, and just a little bit aggressive trying to come off the corner. As we get you back live now, you see he's still with the pack and still can do some battling.
Cold tires, maybe, Carl?
It could be cold tires. Just throwing that out there. That's what we can say now. He's at the back of the pack, but he was one of the cars that took tires. That kind of made me scratch my head a little bit, but yeah, not sure if it was by choice or by accident, but either way, he's stuck with it now. As Alan Elwood leads the way.
He made the bid. He left the snakes in it. So, yeah, the 66 can definitely going to have a challenge tonight, working his way through it. And that mistake there, here with the whole field, puts him all the way in the back and not where he wants to be. It's not, ideal by any means. I'm sure Alan Elwood, if he can, be able to take advantage of this, this type of race like this would be a huge, up time for the 5 to kind of stretch away from the 66 as far as points go. And I mean, that or Tommy's just like, whatever, drop race, but I think you'll see Tommy kind of work his way back up through the field. As long if it stays green, I just say back up the top 10. But yeah, he's got a lot of work here to do tonight after a slight mistake, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for that one. But Alan Elwood out front right now, over Danny Ware, sitting back there in P2, and then Jack Stonehouse goes in for 3rd and 4th. Josh Van Weston for your top 5.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we got some great racing all throughout the week, and we got some extra commentating going on as well. Last night we had Mike Casey join us up there in the booth, and I believe he may be joining us tomorrow night in the booth as well for the Casual Sim Racers League, potentially the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing as well. That's your doubleheader tomorrow night, and then Thursday night we have Virtual Velocity Racing as well. So plenty of racing yet in the week, but plenty of racing here tonight yet, as we still got another 60 laps to go this time by.
Plenty of racing still to go here, and 99 not messing around, definitely pushing a little harder to get closer and closer to the front. Still working his way through the field, moves up in the P13 as he gets around Nathan Nickerson. Now needs to catch up to the likes of Dalen Drummond in order to keep going, but 199 still on the way forward here tonight. Let's see, what do we got? Biggest movers? I don't have that on my screen at the moment.
Biggest mover here tonight is obviously the one you just mentioned. Jonathan Schwartz is up 16 spots starting in the back of the field. Matthew Simmons is up 15 spots as well starting back there. But, I mean, man, here we got some battles all over the place. We got 3 wide now in the back of the field with a bunch of cars out here. Gary Wright now stuck 3 wide in the middle, but not too far in front of him. He's got another 3 wide battle. And I gotta give a shout out to Stephen Harris and the 134, just because I was kind of looking at his paint scheme earlier here tonight and trying to see if we can get a better look at it. There we got the NelsonT.com, and I gotta assume tonight is the green tea version based on the car color out there. But Stephen, had his time in the sunshine last week. Got a chance to get up there and lead a little bit under some different pit strategies. But back in the back of the pack right now, battling for 25th position, as it's in the back of Ricky Renner there. A good save by both the cars there, especially Renner. And we're going to keep this thing going and green. Out front, again, it is Alan Elwood leading the way, but not really anybody, kind of checking out at this point. He's only about 0.8 of a second in front of Danny Ware. Biggest lead of the race here so far, but still, I think within, the edge of drafting range. Danny Ware there in second. Tyler Skozen, Jack Stoneman, James Hislop for your top 5.
There's a spin.
See where it is and who it's involved. Looks like quite a bit there at the back. We got a big pileup actually in turn number 3. So we'll take a look back and see what brought this one out. We got 3 meatballs as it stands. Courtney Nelson, Colin Flickiger, and Dan Phelps all going to walk away with a meatball on this one. Try and go back, and you see it, I think, right there, kind of starting a little bit. Actually, even starting before that. And see if that was maybe Colin involved right at the beginning. We'll take it back here, old-fashioned way. Just hit the rewind button and see if we can see what happened on this one. And it looked like maybe Colin coming down the track, maybe the 49 coming up, maybe a little bit of both. But getting together here on the backstretch. And it's really kind of what ensued after that. You see the 42 able to sneak down underneath, but the 85 there, Dan Phelps, really nowhere to go. Unfortunately, Stephen Harris, nowhere to go for him. Matt Crockett involved. Courtney Nelson, you see getting involved right there as well. Some heavy impact to the front end of the 29 in that one. And I believe that was all the cars that got involved in it right there, but a good amount of them. And like I said, 3 of them have a meatball, and looks like Dan Phelps, I'm not sure if he had his fast repair checked because he's still in the pits, as is Courtney Nelson and Terry Jansen. So very interesting, unless they didn't realize it was a meatball and they came in so early. But looks like everybody coming into the pits except for a couple of cars here. Ricky Renner, Matt Crockett electing to stay out. Jonathan Schwartz is going to come in the pits, but he's going to come out. I'm kind of getting confused because I see Matt Crockett came in on lap number 24. Everybody else coming on 25. So not sure what's going on here with SDK, but right now, as it stands, it is Ricky Renner shown in the lead.
It's not just SDK, because I have the same thing, but now Matt Crockett down at the bottom looks like he's going to get I have to let everybody go by. So maybe he came down too early.
Well, normally I'd say yeah, but then he would have a black flag, so I'm not sure what exactly is going on here. And yeah, we'll hopefully get this thing sorted out here. Ricky Renner shown as a leader. Tommy Ryan now in second. Jonathan Schwartz, actually looks like Jonathan Schwartz in second, Tommy Ryan in third. So hopefully, once we get the pace car lights out here, hopefully everything will get sorted out. We'll get it the double file and get this thing.
That's gonna suck. Now he got a black flag.
Well, he came into the pits now. He didn't pit before, so that's why we get a black flag for pitting on the wrong lap. But yeah, it's something got a little weird with this caution for sure. But we're gonna double them up here, and hopefully things get sorted out one way or another. Ricky Renner on the front row. We have Jonathan Schwartz, Tommy Ryan, Alan Elwood, Danny Ware for your top 5. Then you got Tyler Skozen, Jack Stoneman, JP Phillips, Chad Coleman, and Joey Cruz for your top 10. Looks like all of the Platinum drivers have now found their way inside the top 10.
Yeah, they have worked their way up there, and Ricky showing that he wants to be part of the Platinum team as well, as he's got that car up front. So what can the 53 do from simraces.com, one of the series sponsors here, up trying to get some camera time, I guess, Carl?
Absolutely. I mean, hopefully it's... He did get a little camera time when he got bumped from Harris earlier tonight, but now I get some camera time at the front. But this is the first time we're seeing the 199 now up front as well. Granted, these cars are up there. A lot of it's shifted around here from not taking fuel or not taking tires. Alan Elwood, the first one out there with 4 fresh tires. Tommy Ryan on the last pit stop is when he took tires. So will it be enough to kind of hang it with Elwood on the start here? Got to be a little careful with these these cars out here that haven't taken tires yet in the race. But we're going to get back to the Geico restart zone. Ricky Renner, maybe a road course guy, but he's leading in the oval side right now as he brings him back to the start of this race.
Yeah, again, a little push or an assist on the start there for the 53 from the 66. You can see the run there that, we're going to go 4 wide. This is not good.
Yes, and it's getting real tight, real quick, and I don't know how they survived it. It's still going to be 4 wide in turn number 3, and Renner's going to get pushed out 4 wide again. Jimmy, this is not Michigan or Auto Club. What are we doing 4 wide and surviving? I mean, I know I said in the beginning that this track is wide, but this isn't the kind of driving I was expecting, and somehow we survived all of that carnage already.
I don't even know how they survived that one, to be honest, Carl. I was not expecting. I mean, they did a great job of holding it together. And
are you holding it together? Is the question? It doesn't sound like it.
Clenched and everything. But yeah, I mean, obviously some aggressive driving to get back up to the front. Alan Elwood obviously going there on the outside, and obviously
we got a wreck towards the back there.
Oh no. I mean, this caution like this will help out drivers like the drivers that didn't take tires at all. Maybe some of the drivers that stayed out, but still got one meatball flag out there from Courtney Nelson.
Yeah, still in the pits, still trying to get that thing repaired. Yeah. Looks like Dan Phelps was in the pits for 3 minutes, got it repaired. You see right there, the incident kind of starting with Jeremy Gainey and not sure that was on the outside. I think that was Zane Bierman. Yeah, Zane Bierman involved in that one, and then looks like Colin Flickiger getting a little piece of it as well. As at YouTube open, we gotta close that. Clearly, does not like that, but certainly a few cars getting involved in this one. And going to bring us under another caution. And Alan Elwood was quick enough to get himself back to the lead and didn't have to sacrifice too much time to do that, as he made some aggressive moves on that restarting. While we got some time, let's go ahead and take a look back at that last restart and just going to enjoy all the craziness here one more time, as it was pretty hectic. And we'll stay right here with Ricky Renner, because he was kind of in the mix of everything, and maybe not in the ways that he wanted to be for sure, but got to lead him to the green flag and into turn number 1. But from there, that's where it got a little bit crazy coming off the corner. You see Danny Ware sees a small opening, goes for it right there. Somehow the 199 and 66 don't touch. It looks like maybe neck code a couple times, and then right there, a little neck code between the 66 and 53. But then this is where it gets even more insane. Maybe it looked like 4 wide from the angles we're looking at, but it's still 3 wide, a couple rows back here, and even some good tight 2-wide battling as well. Pretty crazy on the on that restart right there. Hopefully it settles down a little bit on this one, but I mean, hey Jimmy, we're not even halfway through this race. There's plenty of time for these drivers to get up there and mix it up.
Yeah, it's I mean, it was tight. The fact that they did that is impressed, shocked, and is, and you're kind of baffled like why so early, but with the a lot on the line, and still trying to get great finishes, and obviously get wins. A lot of drivers out there, but you could see obviously maybe a little gun shy from last week with all the cautions that they had, and obviously the cautions starting to rack up here just a little bit, and the aggressive driving can lead to that. It didn't happen up here up front, and I didn't quite see the replay in the back, but yeah, it's just kind of there's 36 drivers out here. Anything can happen. You mess up in the front, you go right to the back, and we've seen Tommy. He got loose all by himself and ended up going down and doing some lawn maintenance, and now has to battle pit strategy and whatnot in order to get a chance to manage not getting a not top 5 finish. So we'll see if the 66 can keep going here tonight, but it looks like the 5 obviously we get down there on the inside, gonna lead them back down to the start here next time by. But Alan Elwood, Danny Ware, Tommy Ryan, Jack Stone, and Tyler Scoza for your top 5. Chad Coleman finding his way up there in number 38. JP Phillips back here tonight in P number 7. James Hislop back there 8th. Josh Van Weston and Sean Hook, newcomer, for your top 10.
Jonathan Schwartz just outside of that right now in 11th, so working his way through most of this field. Joey Cruz doing the same thing. He's up to 14th. And Matthew Simmons up to 16th as well. So cars that had to start in the back, working their way to the front, but definitely got to give a shout out to Chad Coleman, as you mentioned him in the kick at number 38. I wonder, what would happen if he could, finally get a good qualifying position. It seems like more often than not, he qualifies, outside the top 10. He's certainly got the speed to hang with a lot of these drivers up here in the front. This reason he's a platinum driver, but for whatever reason, can't get the qualifying times down, and a lot of times starts outside the top 10 tonight, sort of back there in 13th position. So kind of strange in that aspect, but he finds his way towards the front. It's just getting those finishes now that he's got to worry about. But right now, what we got to worry about is the start and getting this thing restarted back underway. Alan Elwood is back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here in Kentucky.
Yeah, back on the way down to turn 1, obviously getting a great jump. It's kind of hard to beat Alan off a start here from the get-go, but 66 down the inside now, battling Danny Ware for Pete, number 2, 38 of I thought we were going back to caution. Things switched.
Yeah. I just know an error time to correct it real quick.
But Danny's got the tires, I think. He's going to go around the outside there for the 66. So Tommy's got some, not lawn care. He needs some tire care tonight.
Well, we talked about that 38, and now you see Chad Coleman battling for 4th position with Jack Stoneman on the outside. They're both trying to move their way up through the field here. Last season's last season's Platinum Division playoff champion, the 25 of Jack Stoneman, now going to slot in behind the 38 of Chad Coleman. And Coleman's got the Platinum points champion right in front of him with Tommy Ryan, so sandwiched by last season's champions here. But the man that certainly has been a champion a couple times here in CORE, and maybe got one, kind of taken away from him last year. He's the man leading out there, and he's been leading quite a bit this season. I mentioned he's got 3 poles out of the 4 races so far. He's got 2 wins out of the 4 races, and really you can kind of say that he kind of had 3. Had Kelly not made a mistake and forgot to take tires and just happened to have an extra set of tires at the end of the season opener to kind of steal that win away from him, or Allen would have had 3 of the first 4 wins in the bag. But Danny Ware looks like, teammate or not, may have something for the 5 here. He hasn't really been falling back from Allen too much on these restarts. Tyler Scozen slipping back here a little bit on this restart, but now trying to work his way back up here. He's in battling with his teammate there in 6th place. We see right behind. Plenty of battling here once again, as they were 2 almost 4 wide again, just 2 wide. But it's certainly racy out here tonight in Kentucky. I got to say that, Jimmy.
I feel like I should be betting on some horses, Carl.
I mean, we can't be too far away from Churchill Downs. I did not think about that. And I would like to know how far away Kentucky Speedway is, because when I was a wee lad, there was a horse track that we used to go out to all the time out in like near the Harrisburg area. At that time, it was called Penn National, and now I think it's Hollywood Casino or whatever casino took it over. But for quite some time, they actually built a dirt track out there, other than the horse track, out basically in the back part of the parking lot, and it was one of my favorite dirt tracks to go to, and it was together with two of the other kind of local dirt tracks, and they had a tri-track series, and it was fantastic. But literally had to close the track down because it was upsetting the horses that were in the stables near the track. Even though they may not have been, racing that night, the horses, not the cars. When the cars were racing, it would disturb them, and had to get rid of it. So certainly some some weird ways that tracks go by the wayside, whether it's attendance or things like that. But the track scared the horses. That's why unfortunately we lost that dirt track there. And I know Barry, I'm sure, knows all about that out there in the chat. But right now, Alan Elwood leading the way out front here by 0.4 of a second. Danny Ware, Chad Coleman, JP Phillips now are your top 4. Tyler Scholes moves his way back up into the top 5. Ryan Stoneman, Ben Weston, Hook, Hislop, and are your top 10. Matthew Simmons now, biggest mover of the race, up 20 spots in 12th place. Trying to look back, as it looks like Jonathan Schwartz didn't take tires on that last pit stop, and maybe regretting it here, because he is starting to slip back through the field, going back the other way, the way he already came through. Now he's back there in 22nd.
I mean, he was on a steep roll up through the field there for a while, and and it could benefit him here later in the race. We're only on lap 42 of 80. Carl just broke the halfway mark, so we already had a few cautions. Now they're on a little green flag run here, as the drivers are out there making their way. But yeah, I think he'll be okay. Just needs to just relax, and his time will shine here later on. And if a caution comes out, he might be one of them drivers that has that extra set and able to drive right through the field. So the times are definitely falling away. They were down to 31.0.2. I've seen some 30s in there, and now they're up to almost 32 seconds a lap. Tires are huge tonight.
Did hear car sliding sideways there, but I don't see any kind of caution. So he escaped that one. I definitely heard some tires, and it looked like it was the car entering kind of high, but I couldn't see exactly where the caution right there would be the issue right there. As it looks like both, well, Courtney Nelson still has the meatball flag from earlier, but this Luis Orduna has a meatball right now. So we'll try and take a look back and maybe see what happened to Orduna. And you see it right there, a little contact with Joey Cruz. We'll take it back here a little bit real quick. Caution did not fly for this incident right here, but we'll see what happened. Looks like coming off the corner, maybe the 3 kind of drifting down a little bit, and then they're both working their way up the track. But I think Joey thought he was going to be up a little bit higher, and it makes contact with Orduna. And unfortunately, Orduna ends up getting a meatball from this one here. But we'll take it back live now, and you see the 3 didn't make it back to pit lane, and I don't see that meatball flag going away, Jimmy. So that might be potentially the night here for the 3 of Luis Orduna. But we are past the halfway point, as you mentioned. We're now down as we cross the line this time by. We're going to have 35 laps to go, so go ahead and step aside here a little bit. Let the judges roar at Kentucky. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love it.
Sights and sounds here of the CORE Xfinity Series presented by simraces.com, and Jeremy Gainey just took the lead as he was staying out there. Had plenty of fuel yet to go, and we'll see what happened here. It looks like he got put 3 wide, and oh, looks like a little bobble from the 43 puts him up into the 45, the 280 getting a piece of it as well. But that's going to be interesting because pit stops were about, say, about 90% complete, but not 100% complete. There's still a few cars out there as we take you back live right now. Ricky Renner, Robert Matthews, Gary Wright, Jeremy Gainey have yet to come in the pits, so they'll be able to come in right now and get a huge, huge benefit here. Luckily for quite a few drivers, they were able to get back on the lead lap, and they'll be able to kind of cycle back through this field, including your early leader there, Alan Elwood. But it looks like quite a few drivers now coming into the pits to get some further service. It looked like Jonathan Schwartz was going to cycle out there as your leader, as looked like he came in and short pitted everyone, but now he is in the pits here, so not sure if he couldn't make it on fuel or maybe coming in here to get his last set of tires. Looks like that is the case here. But Kelly Pointer, as it stands right now, shown as your leader, but I'm also showing him with a black flag, so not sure again what's going on. We had a couple times now with black flags here tonight. That's been kind of head scratching. Gary Wright still out there, and I mean, he's got to come in the pits. He last been on lap number 31, so really surprised he didn't come in on this cycle right here. And then JP Phillips is the one that's showing right now as your top runner with tires.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know what's going on with iRacing tonight. They did have an update. That tells you something.
Yeah, and it's usually there's one or two things that get a little buggy, but a couple of these black flags, you know, we can't see why they get a black flag. Right now we're seeing Kelly Pointer leading the race, but with a black flag. Not sure why. He last been on lap number 57, so he pit around the same time as everyone else here. But maybe he was coming in the pits when the caution was coming out, or again, I don't know what the case is. We'll see these drivers start to get situated here. We'll get this thing back on the green, but it could be a quick pit stop here for the 75. He has to come in and serve that penalty. As you see, looks like all the cars that were behind him are going to get a wave around, so maybe a passing under yellow or something like that for the 75, but looks like he may have to go to the back of the field, possibly, the way it looks. I really don't know. It looks like we're going to find out here one way or another, as, yeah, he is staying to the high side. Looks like he may have to go to the back here. JP Phillips, your leader. Alan Elwood in second. Chad Coleman, Danny Ware, Matthew Simmons for your top 5. Tyler Skosen, Jack Stoneman, Sean Hook, Robert Matthews, and Ricky Renner for your top 10. We got plenty of racing yet to go. The clock's starting to tick here. We got 18 laps now left in this race. JP Phillips came in about 2 laps earlier than Alan Elwood. Will that play a part here? Will he be able to hold off the 5?
I'm just got a black flag too.
Yes, he does indeed, yeah. I did see somebody else there. I didn't see them as Tommy, but yeah. Some random weird black flags, and that's not controlled by the race admins. The race admins don't touch the black flags. They're not allowed to clear them, and they don't give them unless you know, somebody is driving like a tool or something like that out there. But you know, so this is iRacing and really kind of out of their hands, out of their control. But looks like we're gonna get one more trip
Tommy's night for sure
around here, and we get well, I guess we got the green flag next time by.
Yeah, we're gonna see some likes of JP Phillips up here tonight. Obviously, more than capable of winning races. He's kind of in and out here for this season, but out here tonight at Kentucky, and see if he can get himself a good win. Coming down in the laps here, so we got 27 laps remaining. Wait a minute, 17 laps remaining.
There you go.
Can't add. And then Alan Elwood's up there. Danny Ware having a great run as well tonight up there up front. Coleman up there. Simmons is finding his way up there. One of the silver drivers. Skozen, Stoneman, newcomer Hook up there in the number 43. And even Ricky Renner up there in 9th in the top 10. So, yeah, some drivers really showing some speed or at least some strategy here when it comes down to towards the later part of this race. Can the 5 overcome and use that high side and get around the 20 here? Let's see what they do once this pace car comes around, drops them off, and lets them go.
JP Phillips going to be your control car. It's going to be 17 laps to go here. When we get the restart, looks like a little smoke coming from the pit lane. I believe a few cars that are in there and broken, but jumping on the loud pedal here. Great restart on the inside from the 20 of JP Phillips and from the 38 of Chad Coleman. Can the Kit Kat number 38 get a break here tonight and break through for his first win of the season, and I believe his first career win here in CORE? He's able to clear the 5 just barely on the backstretch. It's certainly going to help JP Phillips here in the 20. But now here comes the 5 of Alan Elwood, going to shove it down in there. He's got 2-lap newer tires than both the 20 and the 38. Able to get alongside the 38, not able to hold the inside there on the 20. So it's still going to be JP Phillips at the front. But that 5 certainly looks like he's got some speed and able to get up there, at least a battle for this win still. Another one to take a look at is Matthew Simmons starting the back of the pack here now, up into 5th place. Back there in the 49, still JP Phillips in the turn number 3. You kind of get the feeling, Jimmy, it's go time here in Kentucky.
Hey, it's really the go time, and the 5 wanting hungry for another win here tonight. He's all over that rear bumper of the 20, looking to get advantage. Obviously going down below that yellow line, now has the inside. I know JP is just going to kind of let that happen there, so they can have a good finish. I'll have to see if he can find a rebuttal. See if the 5 will overdrive, then tires get him heated up, and then see if he can take advantage of that. But does have a look down the inside as they enter into 3 and 4.
Now battle for 3rd place as Danny Ware certainly been racing here tonight as well. Tries to get to the inside here of Chad Coleman, was there for a bit. Now battle behind them as the 49 and 55 may have made contact. But Skozen going to stay in it, and he's going to move by not just the 49, but get to the inside of the 55, or the 35 as well, as Skozen trying to make a late charge up through the field here. He's got some tires from lap 57 as well. Can he put them to good use here, as it looks like Kelly Pointer and Tommy Ryans came in to serve their penalties. You see Jack Stoneman back there doing some battling with Sean Hook, but out front, Alan Elwood looking to try and get away from this field if he can. JP Phillips, I think he'd be happy right now with a 2nd. And good to see him back out here in the field regardless. And we only get to see JP like maybe every other race, but doing good out here tonight. Danny Ware still trying to work around Chad Coleman, who's holding on to 3rd place. Back to the line this time. We've got 12 laps to go.
Yeah, you see the drivers coming off of 4 and, taking advantage of him being able to kind of go down there pretty deep down into the, very close to the apron. Danny Ware, stayed above the yellow line there, and that one got position there on the 38, and he was able to move up into P number 3. Does he have what it takes to catch back up to JP Phillips and Alan Elwood? I guess we're about to see as these laps unwind. 12 laps remaining here. Alan Elwood out front over JP Phillips, Danny Ware, Chad Coleman, Tyler Skozen for your top 5. Matthew Simmons up your biggest mover, up 26 spots in P number 6. Some shout-outs as well to Jonathan Schwartz, up 21 spots in 8th, 21 spots move for Robert Matthews, our lone Canadian out there, along with Ricky Renner up 13, Joey Cruz is up 16, Gary Wright up 10, and Michael Schwartz up 12.
55 of Skozen. Seems like he likes that 2nd line through 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit too high this time. He's going to get a little toe on the front stretch by Danny Ware. He was able to complete the pass on Chad Coleman by dipping down below the apron, got to the inside line, but now he's going to have to run the outside in 1 and 2 also. We'll see if he gets enough for a run on the outside. Looks like he's going to hold position. He'll get a little bit of a toe again by the 35, but just can't complete that pass. and get a chance to battle up there for the top 3 right now. It is Elwood, Phillips, and Ware for your top 3. Coleman, Skozen rounding out your top 5, but some good battling right behind as well, because Jonathan Schwartz now trying to mix it up here with what will probably be his division mates here pretty soon, with the Platinum drivers at the front. Good battle between him and Jack Stoneman here. Matthew Simmons still having a good drive as the silver driver up there in the top 10 in 8th place after starting in the rear of the field. And then a couple more rookies, Sean Hook and Robert Matthews rounding out your top 10, with Sean having a pretty good debut here for his CORE Xfinity Series running here up here with the big boys up here as well. Close battling still between the 25 and 199.
And Stoneman never gives up easily, and obviously not this late in the race. Only a few laps to go on lap number 73, so just a few more times around here at Kentucky. But 199 able to kind of get the move there underneath the 38, so 199 is still charging forward, trying to get up into that podium position.
And 55 of Skozen is able to finally clear the 38. Now you see the 199 clear the 38 as well, at least for the time being. Coleman goes to the inside here of 1 and 2. He's going to have the inside line, get a little bit of a draft, going to slide up, little rubbing going through turn number 2, but going to hold on to the spot right now. As Skozen catching up to the back of the 35 of Ware. Can he get a run? Can he get that thing to rotate through the corner? As we had a lap car there of Jeremy Gainey moving down to the bottom of the track, and may block the 199 from going down there. I don't think he realized he was there, and going to really hamper the 199's chances of getting up there to battle with Skozen, at least for the time being. We are down to 5 laps to go and hit the line, but it's Alan Elwood, JP Phillips, Danny Ware currently your top 3. But Skozen wants to try and mix it up there, and so does Jonathan Schwartz.
Yeah, P3 basically is our race at the moment, with a few laps. So you got the 99 or 199 trying to get up there, 55 down below the apron.
An extremely aggressive crossover right there from the 55 to try and hold on to the spot. You've seen the 199 of Schwartz really diving in deep into turn number 3, made it stick on the bottom. Now Skozen trying to make it stick, but he cannot clear the 199. He's going to lose a little bit of ground as well down the backstretch. Can he send it like the 199 did? They get close to touching there. As Schwartz able to now clear the 55. Can he work on the 35 here to the end? He's already got the inside line, looking for 3rd.
Just a few laps remaining here at Kentucky, as the battle for 3rd is you don't get any closer on what it is right now between a few drivers trying to make position, but 199 does get advantage over the 35 over Danny Ware. Tyler Skozen still looking to move the number 55 forward after finishing in, on the podium last week. But Alan Elwood is still out front. Got a nice little lead over JP Phillips and then Jonathan Schwartz for your battle for the finish here. But in the up there as well, Jack Stoneman, Chad Coleman, Matthew Simmons, Sean Hook, and Ricky Renner for your top 10.
Elwood looking like he's stretching his legs here a little bit, about a 0.6 of a second lead now at the front, trying to clear and get away from JP Phillips. 2 laps to go here at the line. It's been a pretty good one out here tonight. Should be certainly obviously better than last week. Last week was a little bit rough, as we were up there in the New England area for, actually, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago at New Hampshire. Well, I think they've kind of righted the ship. They certainly looked good at Auto Club, only 1 caution there. And then here at Kentucky, they had a few cautions. But, I mean, considering how much they were racing out there, I know we've come to Kentucky before. We've seen some decent races at Kentucky. They got after it here tonight. I mean, there was 3-4 wide a lot of times at this track here tonight. But right now, as it stands, we got 1 lap to go here at Kentucky Speedway, and Alan Elwood looking to go 3 for 5 to start that first half of the season and look to build a commanding lead heading into the second half. Right now, JP Phillips, the only one close enough to maybe mount any kind of charge, but he's got older tires, and that 5 is getting smaller and smaller by the minute. But the one that's not getting smaller is the 199. Schwartz is on the move, looking to try and get the second. Not going to have enough time, though. Maybe a couple more laps, he would have had a chance. But Alan Elwood going to be your top finisher here tonight. He wins for the third time this season. JP Phillips, Jonathan Schwartz, your top three. Danny Ware, Tyler Skosen, rounding out your top five. Then you got Stoneman, Simmons, Coleman, Hook, and Renner for your top 10.
The drivers are doing a fantastic job, and as they finish up here tonight, it does look like the rest of the drivers is going to be Robert Matthews getting a 11th place finish. Joey Cruz finishes in 12th. John Williams Sr. with a nice solid finish in 13th. Gary Wright finishes in 14th, so congratulations there, Gary. I always look at his iRating and wonder why it's so low, because he definitely doesn't drive like that. Jeff Ryan is in 15th. Colin is going to be in 16th. Dave Tilford in 17th. Dalen Drummond's in 18th. Zane Bierman in 19th. Michael Schwartz in 20th. James Hislop back there 21st. Josh Van Westen 22nd. Dan Phelps in 23rd. Matt Crockett finishes in 24th. 25th being Jeremy Gainey. 26th Tommy Ryan. 27th Kelly Pointer. 28th Terry Jensen. Steve Harris finishes back at 29th. Troy Snyder in 30th. Joe Sullivan 31st. Nathan Nickerson back in 32nd. Luis Orduna back in 33rd. Randy Yoakum in 34th. Courtney Nelson back in 35th. And Chris Hayes finishes in 36th. Yeah, just you look at, it's weird seeing Nathan towards the bottom of the list, Carl, to be honest. I'm used to watching the GT races, and he's usually up towards the front. So it's one of the few drivers that it seems like he obviously wants to benefit and get faster all around, and working on that oval series stuff. So maybe not being in the wrong spot at the right time doesn't help sometimes, getting caught up in an incident. But yeah, looking forward to seeing the day that Nathan Nickerson figures it out, because definitely a strong competitor. Looking to see him up in them top fives, top threes.
Well, I mean, listen, Jimmy, he's used to going on tracks where you're making at least anywhere from 6 to 106 turns on one lap, and here he's only making 2, maybe 3, depending on the oval.
Bored, Carl.
I maybe it is. Maybe it's a little complacency. Maybe it's maybe he's mediocre at best turning left. Maybe he's ridiculously good turning right.
Turn right.
So maybe all those clockwise road courses, we got to keep an eye out. He should be dominating those clockwise ones.
We're gonna have to take notes, statistics. Dave, where's your Excel sheet?
Yep. We're gonna need to know how good drivers are turning left compared to turning right. But either way, we're going to get our top 3 up here for their interviews. Want to thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But this was, again, I think a pretty good one here tonight. And looks like we got our top 3 now start to file in. So we'll go ahead and bring in our third place finisher here tonight. And that's going to be Jonathan Schwartz, driver of the 199, and certainly not an easy way to get a podium here tonight. Having to start from the back there, Jonathan, but you certainly had a fast car out there tonight, and even at the end there, you're working through some heavy traffic at the front of the field with maybe a little newer lap tires than some of the other ones, but I mean, it looks like maybe a couple more laps you had a chance at second, maybe even the top spot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an up and down day, that was for sure. Started the race back in the field, no qualifying, unfortunate from last week. I feel like track position was quite important here, regardless of the result. Just it's a challenging track to pass in terms of like the high speed corners and the short runs. It's hard to find any tire offset you can find. So early on we were involved in an incident, I think, with Courtney, and just looking back at the replay, trying to figure out what happened. Won't go into too much depth now, but just looking at the lines that they were taking in, I feel like some people were going all the way up to the wall, other people weren't, and so just, I don't know if there was a misjudgment or just people, anyways, that definitely made the stints after the race a bit more interesting. The fact that I think as the race started, we were just about able to make it on 3 stops, or like 2 pit stops, but we might have to save a little fuel, so that caution definitely changed up the plan. And just kind of having to adapt throughout the whole race, trying to find the right time to pit. I think we ended up staying out on the old tires early on, and then we pit around like halfway, around like 5 laps before everyone started pitting. Then we had that caution, and that caution actually happened a little earlier than I had hoped. I was hoping to, I think at that point pretty much everyone had used up their tires. We were one of the few people that actually still had a set left. So yeah, we were able to get like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 laps difference than that lead pack there. And yeah, it's 16 or 17 laps to go. Definitely a good amount of time, but it's just that train of dirty air and the fact that you don't have too much of an advantage. It seemed like we really started to find like any ability to pass it in those last 5 laps. That's really when we noticed the tire difference seemed to make it play. It's like if I pushed early on, I feel like I would have burned up the tires to the point I wouldn't have been able to have any difference at the end. So. Yeah, I feel like a few more laps maybe, but regardless, still happy with the result. And yeah, we survived. That's, I guess, a good result as well.
Well, I mean, I know it definitely looked like it was tough passing kind of once the race settled in and you guys were, 5, 10, 15 laps into the run. But on the restarts there, I mean, I had to double check and make sure that we were at Kentucky because it looked like we were at, Michigan or Auto Club there a couple times because you guys were going 3 wide, 4 wide, 3 wide, a couple rows deep. I mean, it was racy out there on these restarts.
Yeah, especially I would say 3 and 4. It's like it's such a flat corner that once you start to use up those tires, it's like the car just wants to slide out high. And so it's like if you can somehow manage to keep the momentum up high, you'll be able to get a nice run out of the corner. But a lot of times on fresh tires, the amount of time you gain on entry allows you to run the bottom real well. So yeah, 3 and 4 definitely got like 3 or 4 wide battles a bunch, which was quite fun.
It was certainly fun watching you battle your way up through the field here. And, I mean, for a while, it looked like maybe a top 10 would have been a great result for you, but you did a lot better than that. You finished up here on the podium, so congrats on the 3rd place finish. Who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely a shout-out to Delta Sport for helping in terms of just practice and recommending different like steering ratios, brake bias to try out, and also got some practice in dirty air with them, just getting a sense of how it's going to impact the car. I feel like that preparation and before the race really makes a big difference. So yeah, huge shout out to them as well as CORE for the broadcast. You guys always enjoy watching it afterwards.
This will certainly be a fun one for you to watch out here for sure. But either way, take some time. Congratulate yourself on the 3rd place here. We'll see what you can do next week. Hopefully, hopefully penalty points and things like that don't come your way. Hopefully, start coming off there so you can start up there towards the front because I have a feeling that you're going to be slotting yourself out there in the Platinum Division the way you're running out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to actually give Alan a fight. I feel like this time we were particularly close, and so yeah, hopefully just every race and get one step closer.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the 3rd place. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 199 of Jonathan Schwartz. 2nd place here tonight is going to go to the 20 of JP Phillips.
JP. Jimmy Carl up in the booth. Copy, buddy.
Yes, sir, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing fantastic, I guess, as well as you are. There's one heck of a crazy race up there. You find yourself finishing in 2nd place. We know you're not full time, but it's awesome to see the 20 out on the track when you do get a chance to race out here. Give us a little rundown on how everything was. I mean, we've seen a lot of battling, 3 wide, 4 wide here at Kentucky.
Dude, it was crazy. They was some of the most intense restarts that I've seen for a while. From the initial start to all the restarts we had, it was crazy. You had to be on your toes there, and ready to battle those guys. And there was some fast guys up there tonight too.
Everybody getting around here at a pretty decent clip. Tires a huge factor here tonight, and you made your pitch stop and strategy work for you a little bit here tonight to land you. We know that you always have decent speed, but I think your pitch strategy really kind of helped you out a little bit here tonight. Did you make it a little bit easier getting your finish? And it's all part of racing. But man, I mean, it's just a fantastic race here tonight, and it was great to see the 20. But we won't hold you up too long, but we want to say congratulations and give you a little time for a shout out so you might have it at number 20.
Yeah, appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to be here full time. It just seems that life has gotten in the way the last few weeks. So we'll see how the next few weeks go. But big shout out to simracers.com for hosting the league here. It's been a lot of fun. The few races I have got to run. That 5 car in Allen, man, he is fast. So anytime you can be there close to him at the end is, I think, is a pretty special race. And big shout out to Tommy Ryan for screwing up there and taking in set of tires too early.
So you're right, Jimmy. You're right.
Yeah. Or trimming the grass, or spinning out.
Right.
He had a rough night tonight.
yeah, we got him out of the way. So, but no, those guys are fun to race with. Both the Ryan boys and Chad, and I think Randy was in here today too, or I believe.
Yep.
So, and as always, shout out to you guys. Best crew in the booth on iRacing.
We really appreciate that, JP, and like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you out there and watch your race. So again, congratulations there on a podium finish, finishing in second here tonight at Kentucky. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight. JP Phillips in the number 20 top spot here tonight. Third time out of the first 5 races, so definitely putting together a heck of a first half of the season is going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. Alan, it looked for the most part, it was kind of another, ho-hum race for you, leading plenty of laps at the front. I know in a couple of, pit stop strategies and cautions kind of, get you back a couple spots in the field. But ultimately, you were able to keep that 5 up front. And I think that was probably the safest place to be because this thing got plenty of racing out here tonight at Kentucky.
Yeah, it definitely did. As you guys saw, we had a couple wild restarts there. I think we were 4 wide at one point. So
a couple times.
I hope everybody got their popcorn out and was watching at that point because that was a lot of fun battling right there. No, it was definitely a fun race. Some quirky strategy a little bit with. It kind of seems straightforward, but that last caution there, I think really helped John have a lap or 2 newer tires. And I know I was talking with Danny, and that's ultimately the difference between those two guys is Danny just kind of didn't have the right front to compete with John. So I told him, I said, kudos to him for maybe saving that set for a little bit later on and hoping it worked out. And I think it did for him to get through the field. So, definitely always good to be out front and stay clean out there. And, even on those restarts when you're maybe mired back a little bit in traffic, just trying to make your moves when you can because even watching from behind that in your mirror, you see everybody kind of bunched together. So nobody's really making any moves. No one's really making any gains in the green. So on those restarts, you really have to make the spots count and get them when you can.
Well, I mean, I know you probably came into the season with a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an axe to grind, and wanting your championship back here in the CORE Xfinity Series. You got one kind of stolen away from you on the first race at Charlotte, and I feel like that just made the axe even sharper because you've been pretty much on fire here ever since, winning 3 of the last 4 races. And it's not only that. I mean, you're putting yourself in the right spot race after race. I mean, 4 out of the first 5 races, you're on top of the boards here in qualifying. So, I mean, just a little bit maybe extra pushing here this season to get you that top spot.
I think 100%. I came into the season, like you're saying, really aiming to put my best foot forward. To be honest, I think the way the first maybe 2 or 3 seasons went for me, it almost kind of takes you off your A game because you kind of get complacent with how things are going. And last season, things didn't go to plan. They didn't go the way that I wanted them to by any stretch. So I went into this season with, looking straight forward, being mindful of what's in front of me with strategy and that type of things, because I think for whatever reason last season I didn't have the right mindset in certain races and I would just pick the wrong strategy. And this season I really came into it trying to be on my A game, and I'm here to obviously win as many as I can, but I want to win the ones that I know I should win because I had some last season slip away that I should have won just for my own issues, my own problems. So nobody to fault there but myself. But yeah, no, going into this season was definitely a goal of mine to notch as many poles as I can, get as many wins as I can, and especially going into these next 3 races being complete wild cards with 2 super speedways and a road course.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
I do like. Yeah, those first 5 races, you have to put your best foot forward to understand that these next 3 races could be really bad, just out of sheer bad luck. So that was my goals. These first 5 races, come out of the gun hot, and try to notch off as many wins as I can going into these next few races.
Well, that's certainly what you've done here so far, getting your 3rd win now already out of the first half of the season, so really putting yourself in a great spot. Some new competitors out there this season that you had to deal with. Obviously, you mentioned Jonathan Schwartz coming up there tonight. JP Phillips certainly a threat when he comes out here. We can show up. Even Danny Ware was not exactly letting you go here tonight. Your teammate was pretty fast in the 35, just missing out on the podium himself. But it hasn't been easy, even though you look at the results in the standings and it looks like okay, just another ho hum year for the 5. It hasn't exactly been easy. It hasn't been you going out there and dominating and winning by 6-7 seconds. So they're making you work for it, even though you're still up to the task. So congrats on another win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, of course, Simrat Market, Rudder Racing Development, everybody on the team, EDE, super proud, like you mentioned with Danny, super proud of his effort tonight. Had a really fast car, sucks he didn't get on the podium, but really proud of his efforts tonight and his result. You guys up here in the booth calling another good race. Can't wait to watch it back. It's a lot more entertaining with these green runs and stuff to go back and watch it the next day, so looking forward to it. And everybody watching at home. And what's that?
I said, yeah, a little bit.
I said a little bit. A
little bit, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you get frustrated at track, we get just as frustrated in the booth.
All right. Thanks God New Hampshire is behind us. But anyway, but yeah, everybody watching, tuning in and everything, we appreciate you all. And yeah, Daytona's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to Daytona. I think it's arguably my favorite super speedway, so I'm looking forward to getting there next week.
Yeah, I think I'm more looking forward to Daytona than I am at Echo Park for sure, because they race the same, but it's a little bit tighter quarters at Echo Park. So wish you luck next week. See what you can do to start the second half of the season, but certainly celebrate the first half, as it's been pretty well here so far. So congrats on another win. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Thanks, guys.
It's your winner here tonight. 3rd time out of the first 5 races and 3rd out of the last 4 is the 5 of Alan Elwood. Doing a great job here tonight and just having the right strategy at the right time, because I mean, really, you look back at it, Jimmy, 2-lap newer tires. That's really the difference between him and JP Phillips. I think if Phillips had the same tires and he was able to start in that first spot, might have been a little tougher for Alan to get around him. And Alan only went on to a 0.6 of a second win here for the night. So you wonder how things play out. And you even look there at Jonathan Schwartz had 3-lap newer tires than Alan Elwood, and you can see he was gaining on both JP and Alan at the end. So tires were really, really, really a big factor here tonight. Maybe not so much the next race at Daytona. We'll see who's got the wherewithal to get through all the craziness at Daytona. Certainly going to be 3-wide action next week. I don't know if you can really want to put it 4 wide there at Daytona. I know you can technically. I don't recommend it. Here at Kentucky, they did. And they didn't care if you could or not. But, I mean, I guess technically Kentucky's wide enough. You can maybe go 5 wide. But we've seen plenty of 4, plenty of 3. It was a good one out here tonight for the drivers. So thank you to all the drivers that showed up here tonight. But for myself and Jimmy from the Kentucky Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Whoosh.